Well, it's pretty clear that there were serious fightings going on in Donbass, especially in Mariupol. But what I saw last trip in the middle of June this year, it was that the building up is continuing, going on. The mood of the people is improving, and I can say that vast majority of people, maybe those who wanted Ukraine, they fled, they went away. But as to the mood in the street, as to the mood of the population, they want to be part of Russia. They are Russian, they feel themselves Russian, they speak Russian. They are very against this Ukrainization which took place for the last 8 years and maybe last 30 years after the breakup of the Soviet Union. But the mood is very, very pro-Russian, you know. And I would say it's positive because they are renovation, reconstruction, building houses, cleaning everything. Cities are in different shape, you know. Mariupol was in ruined, maybe 50-50. Many houses okay, infrastructure, but many houses in ruins, you know. But as to, for example, Berdyansk, Melitopol and other cities, no fightings took place, and mood is fine. People feel something new is coming, new era. And it's absolutely clear that people are tired of Ukrainian power, of this, regime government of Zelensky. They joke on him. Of course, people hate Poroshenko, of course, former president, after last Maidan. And they feel optimism. This is something you feel just on the ground. And if you read the Western press, I mean, then there are English-speaking journalists sitting in London, Washington, Berlin, some writing in German as well. But they never come to those places. They don't speak Russian as a rule. They don't communicate with those people. So it's very useful to be there and to communicate and feel what is in the air. Now they are, of course, everybody hopes this warfare and this, special operation, you can call it whatever, will finish as soon as possible. But I would say relief is here a key word. So I was in Donetsk. This is the biggest city there. It's more than 1 million inhabitants, and I was during those shellings, which are going on very seriously in fierce and serious manner. And this is something what has been happening last 8 years after last Maidan, when the Ukrainians start shelling, bombing, and even from artillery, from the air forces, and now this artillery shelling into Donetsk. So this is continuing, and of course it's shameful, it's absurd, and quite interesting for German press, even some channel which not is a yellow press, to claim and to say that the Russians are shooting into Donbass. But this is continuing, and it's also a serious thing that this is done with Western weapons, with the newest American 155mm caliber. And I was there during these shellings, and the air defense system is working. I don't know how effectively, but they are shooting down some of those missiles coming over. But you hear the sirens of the car, of the anti-theft system, when those air defense system is going up, and also you hear the sound of those bombs coming. And I was there in the streets because we were supposed to leave very early next morning, as I was searching some products, some bread, kefir, or because we drive in the bus for 10 hours, 8 hours, small, not so many pauses and so on. So I was there doing this shopping during this, and it was a really strange feeling to be among people which all of a sudden start speaking to each other. They never would do it in an ordinary situation, and some solidarity, and of course they were anger towards the Kiev government or regime, and it's a very interesting feeling and strange. I felt that feeling maybe in the last coup in Moscow in 91-93, when I was in the White House when Yeltsin was bombing that building. But of course that's another story. But it's pretty obvious that this is the Ukrainian state forces shooting own citizens, people with the same passport, people with the same citizenship, because they not agreed to junta or regime which came after coup d'etat, after a putsch, which took place in Kiev in February-March 2014. So this is awkward for the West because the government of Iceland, for example, they are supporting. Iceland has no army, and Iceland say we are the most peaceful people nation, we just have police forces, we just have the Coast Guard, and claiming such a things, but sending millions and millions of euros from the taxpayers to the most corrupted regime in Europe, to the poorest country in Europe, and to some military people which are, they are practicing genocide against the Russian people in the east. Those are some Ukrainian nationalists. But here the plan is to eliminate the nation, So this is a genocide. So that this small island in the north is a direct participant in this warfare. It's a very bad fact, and I'm afraid the West will continue, but those people, they are Russian and they want to be part of Russia. I think that's pretty clear.